Hello, and in this video we're going to talk about attachment styles. Now, you can do a deep dive into attachment styles and start analysing your childhood in great depth and then analysing your relationships as an adult, but it's quite easy to get lost. Whereas when we just take the attachment styles in a general, overarching way, then that really helps us to see where we might be able to work on and how we can improve our attachment style in the future. So the first one we're going to talk about is the secure attachment style. And the secure attachment style is the basis of emotional regulation. So someone who has a secure attachment style, their internal dialogue, so what they say to themselves, is essentially, I am worthy to be seen, and it's reasonable to expect other people to listen and engage with me as I express myself. So it's a really secure base. And this comes from when we're much younger, having a consistent and secure caregiver who we can attach to or attach with. So when we're upset, when we're hungry, when we're crying, when we have a wet diaper and our emotions are all over the place and our nervous system is sort of quite dysregulated, we have a consistent caregiver who helps to soothe our system, helps to soothe our nervous system. And then over time, our nervous system then learns to soothe itself. So this secure attachment style really is the basis for effective emotional regulation. Another key point here is that when we feel safe, when we have a secure caregiver, that then allows us to be curious and creative to then go and explore different options. So it gives us a solid foundation and a solid base where we can go off and explore. And that's often where we can find things that we love, things that are exciting, and things that are really fulfilling. The next attachment style that we're going to talk about is the avoidant attachment style. This essentially works along the lines of, I perceive I didn't get what I needed when I was young, so the way that I'm going to cope with that growing up and getting older is I won't need any help from anyone. So I will avoid taking or receiving help and I'll deal with things by myself because I don't need anyone. So the way that this can show up is during times of difficulty, a withdrawal and a move towards isolation. So getting inside your own head, staying inside, cutting yourself off from those outside relationships, struggling with intimacy, a fear of rejection, and really that struggle or that worry of being rejected again. So how can we cope with that? We can withdraw and then we can try and deal with everything internally. So even though there is a yearning for intimacy on the outside, the fear on the inside is what kind of leads that avoidant approach to take hold. The statistics say this is about 20% of the population. The next one that we're going to talk about is the anxious attachment style. So we can think about the anxious attachment style is all around inconsistencies. So first of all, when we were much younger, was our caregiver there? Were they sometimes there and sometimes not? Sometimes able to help, sometimes not able to help. So if they were there and not there in an inconsistent way, that creates uncertainty. So that creates a fear in the system, which leads to anxiety. And another way that we can look at this is, what was the emotional connection to the caregiver? So were they sometimes loving and friendly, and then at other times completely intrusive or angry or upsetting or critical? And so we didn't really know what type of caregiver we would find on any given day. So not only is there inconsistencies of, is there a caregiver there, there's also inconsistencies in terms of what type of response I'll get when I need something from my caregiver. So these two factors combined create an anxious attachment style. So this can lead to really clingy relationships, sort of become a little bit too attached, really worried about rejection or worried about people leaving, and it creates that internal anxiety which causes lots of conflict and struggles within relationships, because there's that worry there and that fear that they might not be present for you, might not be there. And then the final attachment style we want to talk through today is the disorganized attachment style. Now, some theories say this is the result of significant childhood trauma, and it's essentially when an individual is unable to consistently regulate their emotions. So this means that they might resort to lots of various different ways, random different ways of trying to regulate their emotions. But any type of emotional regulation is incredibly draining, it's difficult, it's inconsistent, and so there's never really a particular pattern to how they manage their emotions. So this causes significant challenges in all types of work environments, relationship environments, because there's no consistent way to actually deal with and process emotions. So all too often they can be overwhelming, and we can resort to different types of impulsive behaviors to try and manage those emotions. So here is just an overview of attachment styles, which helps us to see if trauma is still affecting us. This is probably influencing our relationships at much deeper levels than we may have even considered. Thank you.